come out to open up the action here on this wonderful setting here in West Sussex. I'm joined here by John Kent. John, I haven't seen a lot of this polo myself. What do you know about it?
I know it's fast, it's exciting, the skill level is amazing. You see those little wheels out there, the Roda wheels that these players will be flying around on. Every time I've tried Tarquin, I've just kind of ended up flat on my face. So a lot of respect to these guys out there. And we're just going to talk through how it mimics kind of a real world of polo, why these players you see out on the field, I mean, some of them, 9, 10, 11 years old, these players out there. And this is how we're creating this next generation coming through. Such a great initiative, Tarquin.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. I'm just looking at the runners and riders here, buddy. We've got Polo Untold, and they are the slightly taller team. They're playing in the green shirts, and they're taking on Cana Capital. And for the benefit of all of our TV viewers on Polo Line TV, we're just going to go through that list. At number 1 for Polo Untold is Pedro Sola, the cousin of Facundo Sola, an 8-goal player here, of course, playing at the moment for a couple of teams in the high goal. We've got at 2, Florencio Lanús, and at 3, Teo Zavaolgo. Not an easy surname, but I think about just got it right. Cana Capital are lining up at number 1. Ina del Carril, that's the sister of Justo del Carril and Jaime del Carril. And I can tell you, John, that Jaime del Carril, the number 1 for this team, is only 8 years old.
It's unbelievable. And that del Carril name, it is one of the most famous names in polo. So really excited to see. And look at the size of these players out there. It's amazing to see. I really wish when I was starting out, when you were starting out, like this is such a help to these players in giving them that sort of balance, that speed, that eye. It's all there out there.
Absolutely, and polo has changed so much in the last 20 or 30 years in terms of the skill level. It's extraordinary what the kids are doing on the back of a horse now, but it all starts here. They all start with a hand stick. They all stick and balling on the ground, age 3, age 4, and they are grown and brought up through the world of polo. This is what they do from the word dot, and you can see this is a really good platform for these kids to expand their skills and to have fun without the cost of the horse being involved.
So, Tarquin, we run through some of these rules. A lot is very similar to the big semi-finals we've got going on later today. But let's just run through some of the rules in terms of timings, what a foul looks like, what happens when the whistle goes.
Well, I'm not an expert. I've got to be brutally honest with you, John. But from what I know, we normally have 10-minute chukkers. Today, because we've obviously got this... Are we going to do a presentation? Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do a team presentation. We'll come back to the rules, and we'll go through that as we go through the match. But we're going to call the players out just like we would in any big semi-final or final, and we're going to call them out and give them a round of applause. It is customary to give them a clap and give them a cheer as they come forward. Let's start with the Polo Untold team. Playing at number 1, put your hands together for Pedro Sola. Can Pedro hear me? There he goes. He's on board, and he's coming forward. At number 2, Florencio Lanús. Playing in the number 3 shirt, Teo Zavaolgo. And playing for Cana Capital. At number 1, the first of 3 Del Carrils, it's Ina Del Carril. No, it's not. It's Jaime. Jaime, the 8-year-old, is at number 1. In the number 2 shirt, we have Justo del Carril. Justo, in fact, playing at 4. Complete change to our list, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. And playing at number 2, it must be Ina del Carril. So those are the runners and riders. Our 2 umpires are out there as well. And the 2 umpires are going to be, of course, on a wheel and looking after all the players. And I can tell you that one of those 2 umpires is Senor Javier Tanoida out there on a wheel with a whistle. And he's going to be looking after the kids. Play is underway. Coming through here in defense was Del Carril, putting the brakes on sharply and turning the corner. And trying to launch an attack is the number 2 there, Florencio Lanús. And Lanús has scored early doors. Wonderful opening goal there by Florencio Lanús, and Polo Untold go a 0-0. Launched downfield. Coming through there, and Del Carril was back in defence, but there's a 2-on-1 overlap here. Good challenge coming in by Justo Del Carril. And that one looks like it's gone beyond the back line. So the Del Carril's back in possession of the ball here, John, and they're coming forward looking to equalise.
Yeah, love the speed, the way in which they just keep control. Like we've said, this is all about the balance, and it really does replicate what we're going to see later on. The players on the horses, the angle on the cut shot, Tarquin. That is absolutely superb as it goes over the goal line. Another goal is scored.
Wasn't it just? He had an awful lot to do from there. The angle was very, very tight, and he was quite a long way out, John, but he's executed that perfectly and split the uprights. Looks like we're levelled here at 1-1.
Yeah, it's love the way they just lean out. They keep it under control. These wheels, as we were saying, these Roda wheels, they go up to about 30 miles per hour, and the tennis ball out there just bouncing the way it keeps control. They will try and run around the front and just get that balance, which gives them that initiative out in front.
Yeah, good to see that, well, they're all in complete control of their wheels, as you'd expect. This is the number 3 coming forward here, Teo, but intercepted by Del Carril. And the orange helmet there is Justo Del Carril, and he's done really well. Trying to get the ball forward towards Jaime and Inna. So 2 brothers and a sister playing together for the Cana Capital team. And they're all the children of Michel Del Carril, who, of course, is a very famous face in the world of polo. Here comes the young man, the 8-year-old, just over the top of that little bounce. But he's got some support here from his big brother, who's turning sharply, and he's taking on a couple of the opponents there. And he's done pretty well, but the ball eventually stolen away here by Pedro Sola.
Sola, love the length on that pass down the line. Straight away there, looking for Florencia. Florencia, though, just leaves it behind, and it's enabled the Del Carrils to get back in defence and look to bring it round. And now they just bring it under that spell. They would take it out here towards the board. Same Tarquin as the game later on. It's about getting that line, not letting people in to attack you, because once they're gone on the speed of those things, they're absolutely flying.
Absolutely. Lovely control there from Inna Del Carril, the only girl on the field. And she brought the ball out of defence there with great composure. She's got some support here from her 8-year-old brother, Jaime. Possession changing hands, though. And a chance here for 2-1 as Florencio Lanús goes down the side there. Nice little pirouette turn. Sets himself and launches that one down into a dangerous area. The ball's bouncing. Oh, that's lovely from Inna Del Carril. Once again, the young lady in defence.
Yeah, but it looks like Teo's come and has stolen it. He's right there in front of goal. And that is a wonderful sight. That was Florencia just coming round, stealing it in front. And they find themselves down the lead. 2-1, Polo Untold.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. End-to-end stuff here from both teams. And they change ends. And there's another counter-attack on. They're looking for 3-1. Back in defence here. And a near-side backhander coming in there from Del Carril. But there's an open chance. Oh, has he hit the post? I think it's gone in off the post there, John. And it's 3-1.
Yeah, Pedro Sola. We've been seeing him at Calgary this year. He's really delighted the audiences. And again, you can see so clearly through this game, the way that it's played, how it does translate onto the field, as we'll see later on the horses. But bringing it now is Florencia. Polo Untold really getting a grasp of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Justo Del Carril with a lovely tail backhander, but neither his younger brother or younger sister could get on the end of that. And this one's going down towards goal. There could be a little mini collision here. Desperate defence there by the Del Carrils. And have they kept it out? Oh, almost, but not quite. There was a collision in the end between young Inna and Jaime Del Carril, but the ball has crossed the line and the gap is opening up here.
So Polo Untold out now clearly in the lead as it's being brought away now by that team with the black and the green shirts. And it looks like Florencia, sorry, no, that was Teo sending the ball down the ground. Picked up there by Sola. Sola with a backhand, but the Del Carrils, they need to get going here for Cana Capital. It's Justo Del Carril bringing the ball up, and he is clear through. He looks down, flicks it in the air, but leaves it behind. They've got to start scoring these opportunities, and he's looked to do just that with the next shot put into the crowd.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Look at the bounce of the ball here, John. The tennis ball obviously can eventually can sometimes just bounce backwards and stop quite short on you. It's obviously a lot lighter than a polo ball. And I'm just looking at the bounce of it. They're having to really adjust, and it's quite hard to read when the ball hits the deck out of the air.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have that true ring, but when you take it out that like he's done there, wonderful skill by Inna Del Carril. And it's here now with, is that Justo with a shot towards the goal, but blocked again. But as we were saying, the polo ball, the harder one, the hockey-style ball that you'll see later on, it's got a much truer flight to it, but still you see the way, especially Perotto and Heta, when they are running through, they will do exactly what these players are doing and just scoop it out the air. It's wonderful to see.
Well, the modern polo player seems to be as happy with the ball in the air, if not happier, than it is on the ground, John. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, and it makes it so hard to stop you legally as well as we now go down the ground, and it's there. I think that's Florencia out in front with another shot towards the goal, but it's just going to fall short, and they bring it out, just against the wheel of that Roda there.
Yeah, brilliant work in defence from Justo, who was well positioned and executed the turn superbly, but the backhander has opened them up, and that's been scooped up in the air and flicked across the line, and all of a sudden, the gap is 4. It's 5-1.
5-1. And let's a little bit about the sponsors we've got out there. Canna Capital and Polo Untold, Safe Rock, very involved with this organisation as well.
Absolutely. I can give you a little bit of info about Canna Capital. They're an investment fund investing in the medical cannabis market. Based in London, Canna Capital PLC was incorporated in April 2021 to identify and pursue investment opportunities in the cannabis sector. Canna Capital PLC is focused on investing in emerging European companies to take advantage of the strong economic growth prospects in the medical cannabis sector.
Great to see. And the team, Tom Fletcher, Henry Brett, Tenora, others, how they've really spearheaded this movement as it's brought in here now. And it's there with Justo Del Carril. Del Carril, he's got younger brother behind him coming through at speed, but just taking control of it, much like his father, Michel Del Carril, has done over the years here at Calgary, but it's been stolen off him this time. I love the way Florencia plays. Absolutely amazing. Able to get it out there. Now for Solo. Oh, there's a tumble on the ground. The goal is scored. We'll see whether that one stands or whether there was a whistle that went just before.
Yes, indeed. Someone's gone down. It's young Justo Del Carril. Went down pretty hard. He's back on his wheel, I can tell you, which is really good news. And am I right in thinking that all fouls are taken from the point of the infringement, John?
Yeah, exactly. So slightly different from the game later on today. The umpires, the umpire will drop the ball where the foul happened. It's another cut, this time from the Polo Untold side, but it goes wide. Out now again. Polo Untold still looking to attack, and it's in. Oh, it's blocked on the line superbly by Sola. Wonderful hand-eye.
Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time and met that head-to-head and took the ball away from Inna Del Carril, but they're coming with another wave of attack here, and it's Inna. She's had her the ball stolen away once again, and there's a counter-attack on here, and he's brought the ball up to the halfway line. Superb skills out of the air, puts a little break on, and then sets himself. There's the pass through. This is really good stuff, and it's Polo Untold on the march once again, looking to extend their lead. They're working it systematically down towards goal. The challenge comes in, but they've still got possession. Where's the goal shot? There's the flick towards goal. And look at that. The 8-year-old was on the line to stave the day there, John.
Oh, he scooped it out like a goalkeeper, a defender on the line, and now they're on the counter as well. And it's there with Justo Del Carril on the charge here, looking to bring the Canna Capital side back into the equation. They're 5 down, but there's plenty of time. A 20-minute one-chucker match here as it's just left behind. Now, Polo Untold, they can go again. The counter-attacking is wonderful.
Isn't it just? Play changing direction. And here we go. The counter-attack down at the scoreboard end of the field. Now, can that young man get back in defence and save the day yet again? It's flicked infield towards Sola. Sola looking to play back that into a dangerous area. It's picked up here by his number 2. Florencia Lanús centres that one downfield. And another good challenge. This time it's Inna and Justo. Justo coming away with the ball, and the Del Carrils are on the march here. The counter-attack is on, John.
And look at the march as well. It's like the flying duck formation as one Del Carril followed by 2 behind him. It's Del Carril with the shot, looking for Del Carril at the front, but just too much on it, agonisingly wide to the right.
He may have kept it in play, though, with a little backhander. That was the 8-year-old. Have they scored? I think they're just wide.
Yeah, eventually they did say wide. The speed these guys go, the angles they change at, the direction. Oh, and he picks that one out superbly. That is Pedro Sola, cousin of Facundo Sola. Look how he reaches out behind him. It's like a Rabona in football, and he just in the end fell a little bit over the feet as he leaves the ball behind.
Well, it was a show and go that didn't quite come off, did it? It was wonderful to put the brakes on and stop that quickly, but as he went to go, he came off his wheel, and play will continue. It's the young man on the far side, the 8-year-old. We're all wishing him to bring this one back around the corner and score. He's got some backup here from his big brother. His brother goes near side. It's into a dangerous area, but they're back in defence once again, and it's going to be the Polo Untold team launching. Oh, that's just as I say, that's been stolen back here, and the goal shot comes in from Del Carril. Oh, he's just turned it to the left, and it's just wide, John.
Just wide of the left, as we see a few other Roda Polo players practicing out in front of us as well, wanting to be part of the big occasion.
Yeah, good to see. And the movement is growing, isn't it? You can see these wheels. When you go to any polo match now in England, you'll see the kids out there with their Roda wheel and their hand stick practicing. And the movement seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year, John.
It is, and you can see why. I mean, bicycle polo has been played for years. Quad bike polo is always done. But there was always an element of it actually didn't really mimic what happens when you get on the horse or how much good. But, I mean, everything from the core to the balance to hand-eye coordination, it is all out there on this single wheel.
Indeed. Let's have a little chat about Polo Untold, the sponsors of this team. And they are the makers and producers of a cutting-edge polo documentary, Polo Untold, that explores the world of polo in its entirety. From the glitz and glamour of the high goal to the hard-working low-goal pro, playing and producing of ponies to paying the bills to keep the show on the road. The Polo Untold documentary shows the real world of polo at every level, and Polo Untold will be released online soon, so please visit and follow polo.un.told on Instagram for more details. I'm looking forward to watching that, John.
Yeah, really, really looking forward to it. Matt Evans and the team behind that one. I've spent a bit of time with that team. They really are putting together something comprehensive. And now their team is under pressure. Though. Del Carril's beginning to get into it for Canna Capital, and they need to. Look at that little pass from brother to brother, but it's stolen away and bought away. This Polo Untold side, they are giving themselves a lot of credit out there so far this morning.
Yes, indeed. And it's Teal who's found a pass downfield. Little backhander coming in, trying to centre that one, but it's been picked up here in defence by Justo Del Carril, and Del Carril has gone out towards his sister on the left-hand side. Here comes Inna, working that one up over the halfway line. She showed too much of that to the defence, and a little near-side backhander will turn them around, and the counter-attack is on here yet again. It's Polo Untold up against it as Polo Untold on the march. Canna Capital back in defence here, and just trying to take on Del Carril here, working it around the corner. And he's got some support. And the support coming in the form of Florencio Lanús. Lanús downfield, picked up by Teal. And Teal is right up in front of goal. Oh, look at the save there, though. Brilliant save on the line by Del Carril.
Oh, phenomenal how he just came across. The umpires had a look, but they were very happy for play to continue. As now, Canna Capital, they look to go. Can they start making imprints? I think that throw-in at the halfway point signalled that it was indeed half-time. So they are now really getting in to the backer ends of his game as Polo Untold come again.
Good skills. Oh, look at that. Plucked out of the air there. Wonderful stuff. Can he keep this one going? No, he's over the top of the play, and Del Carril is once again back in defence. Oh, lovely around the corner. And, he's been met there on the head-to-head, but he's gone through the challenge. Eventually, the ball's stolen away, and Del Carril will try and just, what a touch that is, John. Beautiful. Around the corner on the turn, and he set up the shooting opportunity, centres it infield to his sister. It's Inna right in front of the post. Can she convert? She shoots. Oh, it's been volleyed out of the air. The goal shot comes in, and it's just wide to the right.
Just wide, but how about that pass? From Del Carril to Del Carril. You thought he was going to go for the goal shot, and if it wasn't for the amazing block, they were right in there as it's being bought away now by Florencia. Florencia big under their neck shot. Now that is perfect. Polo and Pedro Sola with the score. This Polo Untold team, they are clinical.
They are indeed, and they certainly have a slight physical advantage, I'd say, just looking at them. Maybe that's got something to do with the scoreline. They're all very, very talented, of course. But the Del Carril team looking a little bit younger and perhaps a little bit more inexperienced here, John.
Yeah, and probably beginning to get tired as well as it comes in, that physical side of things that you mentioned. There is another Roda Polo match happening later on this afternoon as well. There's, of course, a semi leading up to the big final on Sunday, very much mirroring what is happening in the British Open.
Of course, this is a semi-final, and the winner of this will earn their right to play on Sunday before the Gold Cup final, the British Open final, of course, this Sunday, and these kids are earning their right. This tournament has been played from the quarterfinal stage as the Gold Cup, the polo, the horse polo, should I say, has been played, and these kids are earning their right to make it through to Sunday's final. We will have a second semi-final of the Roda Polo at 2:30 this afternoon. That's the second semi at 2:30 this afternoon. Currently 7-2, and it is Polo Untold bringing the ball forward again, looking for number 8 here. This is good skills. Challenge comes in there from Del Carril's, found his little brother. He comes in to try and challenge, and almost comes out the side there, but he's done really well, and his brother picks up the ball and gets it up over the halfway line. Del Carril on the volley, once, twice, onto the near side. He's over the top of that near side play, and, nice little turn and pluck out of the air there from the number 2, Florencio Lanús.
Lanús running down the ground. I love the way in which this Cana Polo side do the defense on the goal line. There's so many last gasp chances being blocked, and they've got to do it again as Polo Untold. They come forward here with Sola. Sola taking it to the left. He's just giving himself a bit of room. The flick open backhand through the goal. And that is goal number 8. 6 goals now separated. But Sola, we've seen Facundo do that so many times over the years here on lawns. And now his younger cousin Pedro doing exactly the same.
Yes, indeed. It was very Sola-esque, wasn't it? A touch of class there with the open backhander straight through the goal. And the deficit is 6 goals now. And it is Cana Capital, the Del Carril family team, with a mountain to climb, but they certainly will not throw in the towel. Here comes Inna. She's up into enemy territory, over the top of the bouncing ball, under pressure there, and turned round the corner here by the number 2. Her big brother, or little brother, should I say, was back in defence, but he's put the ball out of play here, and it's going to be the green team of Polo Untold to get us back underway. Once again, Del Carril well possessioned in defence here and flicks an open backhander out towards his sister. She tries to return the favour with a little under-the-neck shot pass, but it's picked up by the greens. And Sola centering that one. But it's been picked up here by Ina Del Carril. She's had a really good game, John.
She's had a really good game, yeah. And I've also loved the way that Justo Del Carril playing at the back in the number 4 shirt marshalled it superbly, and he's got to do it again. He's up there against, and he does exactly the same. It was Florencia coming through, but just sweeping at the back, it is Teo. Teo with the shot up towards the goal, dribbling, flick to the left, open backhander. What an angle, what a shot, reminiscent of a cut shot goal we saw by Juan Martin Nero in the quarterfinals.
Wasn't it just a brilliant goal there, and perfectly through the centre of the goal from such a tight angle. The kids really showing their class and skill levels here. And it won't be long before we see these children doing this on the back of a horse, John.
No, exactly. All of these young players, whether you're Argentine, English, they're all out there practicing. You can see another group, another team practicing out behind us again. And it's just that ability I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but that core strength, that hand-eye coordination is what you need to be up there in the high goal polo these days.
Just looking at some of the rules here, we've got the all penalties to be taken from the exact place where the foul was committed. I'm just educating myself as we go through this, John, to be totally frank. And when the foul is committed within the 30-yard mark, the judge must determine the distance if there are no markings on the field. They're called judges and not umpires, I see?
Yes, it's a sort of nicer way to say what they're aiming to do out there, judging the game and how it is going forward. Is the cut shot being hit there? And as well, what's really interesting, you see these dynamics from the back line and how they're hit. It has to go, and there can't be an opposition player. As I think actually that is going to bring an end to this opening game. And what a performance that was by Polo Untold Tarquin. They dominated from the word go, and that will put them in the final on Sunday.
Yeah, congratulations to Polo Untold. A really good performance from Pedro Sola, Tio Zevaolgo, and Florencio Lanús. They have completed a 10-2 victory over Cana Capital, who, were quite brilliant, weren't they? But they included an 8-year-old player, Jaime Del Carril, who had a wonderful game, but just got a little bit out-muscled, really, up at the front. It was difficult for him against the slightly bigger players. And he had the backup of his big brother, Justo Del Carril, who worked so hard in defence, and some wonderful skill from their sister, Ina Del Carril, who I thought played some really good stuff and showed some great touches.
Yeah, and I know how proud the father, Michel Del Carril, he would have been watching that. And how great as well. Look at the safe rock the sign being held up, the sponsors able to see their big thank you to all of the sponsors of these teams. Fantastic to have them here.
So that wraps up our first semi-final. We'll be back for a second semi at 2:30 here on the lawns, but it's time to turn our attentions to the horse polo. Thank you very much, John.